Welcome back to HPL. We saw Dog take a blistering turn 5 win here to get the first win on the board. So he's up 1-0 over Kaldi here. Kaldi on the back foot. Maybe those control strategies aren't going to work. What's he got to do?
Well, I do like the fact that he could have control of this game, but really another big story is that his hand was absolutely abysmal in this first game. His first play, Acolyte of Pain, got checked by a freezing trap, had no way to handle the pressure that Dog had thrown at him, and it just snowballed out of control from there. Is that going to happen in this game? It's anyone's guess at this point. Game 2, Kaldi versus Dog. It's getting underway.
And we're going to see if Dog... Oh, Dog finally? He's finally doing it. He's listened to us.
This is kind of the read here that he had on Kaldi now, that he likes to play these control decks. He's like, you know what, if you're going to play it in Game 1, I suspect that you'll continue that trend in Game 2. And we saw it in Game 1. We saw it in Match 1, I'm sorry, with Super JJ versus ECOP. Druid is able to steamroll Warrior in certain situations, and with a hand like this, I mean, there's no early action here from Kaldi. Dog's got a wild growth.
Yeah, and Dog has a wild growth, which is super important. He's going to be able to shade of Noxramas on turn 2 into, another shade into a Pilot Shredder if he wants to do it that way. So he's got a ton of pressure here early. He can kind of keep them under stealth in case he's worried about early removal spells from Kaldi. But as we can see in his hand, it is abysmal. It doesn't have any of those.
Yeah, sort of what's interesting about this game too, though, is that we talked about how abysmal Kaldi's hand was, but with a Brawl in hand, when you see 2 to shade Noxramas, this may be the way that he gets back into this game, is hitting a very critical Brawl turn and then being able to recover the board state afterwards. So what's going to happen is it's going to be if Dog can kind of keep the pressure up going forward and make sure that he can scale into his late game and have that 9-mana turn, wants to have Force of Nature Savage Roar straight away.
Yeah, pretty good draw here for Kaldi, right on time. Death Spite on turn 4, allowing him to take the front half this Pilot Shredder. But
more stealth minions.
Yeah, I was about to say, stealth is the name of the game
and
here
look
for
at
Dog.
that. There's that second piece of that combo right now. So this is going to be a matter of whether or not Dog wants to push for damage here, or whether or not he wants to play things a little bit more defensively. Thanks to this this wonderful client bug that we've been having every single time Druid wants to make a decision, we haven't been able to see what's going on. We do see that it's taunt now, though. So until we get that bug fixed, we're going to be sticking with Kaldi's point of view, but we're going to get it fixed for you as soon as we can.
Yeah, and he does taunt up here, helping protect his stealth minions here. There's no real good clean attack from Kaldi here on his Death Spite. He does have a Whirlwind and a Cruel Taskmaster and Shield Slam in his hand, so he can use those.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple different options here how he wants to deal with this. The problem here is that he does have to take a lot of damage in his own right to do so. Warrior will very often be leveraging its own life total to try to gain an advantage, but this is one of the matchups where it's particularly risky to do so, because the closer you get to that 14, 15 life total, that's not where you want to be against Druid, because anytime they stick a threat to the board, then you're in danger of lethal the next turn.
Yeah, and you're going to see him just stick a Sludge Belcher here, not actually attack anything with his Death Spite here. And Dog, he's going to cycle a Wrath here, get a few more options if he wants. He does have a Keeper of the Grove to silence this the Sludge Belcher if he wants, and get a ton of damage there and really push the put the onus here on Kaldi to really find a big answer, which we know that he does have in his hand. He has a Brawl here for the next turn.
Yeah, I really love the fact that Dog has chosen to play the one from the right side as well, too. It makes it look like he picked up that option and didn't have it before. He's actually even going to clear out this Sludge Belcher, too, so hedging his bets versus something like Brawl. He doesn't want Kaldi to have that % chance to win with the Sludge Belcher, then maybe turn the game back around. Kaldi's forced to Brawl straight away.
Now, there's some really good leftover minions for Kaldi here, almost all of them except for the, I was going to say, there we go. That's a good one left over. He can clean this up with Death Spite if he wants.
Yeah, so going to drop himself down to 20 now. Dog's got a little bit more pressure to add behind this. If he doesn't draw something that's particularly interesting this turn, which he does, still going to go with the Keeper of the Grove, and I like this play. Making sure that he gets the most amount of threats on board that he can and start getting this shade rolling, so that way when he rolls into turn 9, he has the damage to close it out with Force Nature and Savage Roar. Love that he's gone with this, and sort of something we have seen from him in the past is that he doesn't focus with Druid as much on keeping his mana on curve. He focuses on getting threats on the board. So in this situation, it's just sort of a consequence of getting the most minions on board is that he happens to use all of his mana.
Yeah, we've talked about this before in his matchups. We've seen this with his career stats. You can see them on PvPlive.net. He plays to the board a lot more than other people and doesn't always want to use his hero power and his minions to trade. A lot of times he's just trying to kill you and look for really good board positions to cast combos of Force of Nature and Savage Roar. If he gets a minion left over, a lot of times he can kill you a turn earlier than other people.
Yeah, this is a really interesting spot here too, because facing down this Shield Maiden, he could potentially lose everything that's happening on this board right now. So I would suspect this is going into charge, because given his hand right now, he doesn't have an option other than to push for damage in this spot. So that Brawl, really the saving grace of Kaldi so far in this game. He is going to charge it up, and he's going to unveil the shade. I mean, this is really where the closest spot comes in. I don't think he's going to, because he's got Force Nature Savage Roar and Innervate with a hero power next turn, and with the shade hidden, it's going to grow to 4 power. That's going to give him 18, 21 points of damage with that innervate going into this. So unless Kaldi can find a way to actually gain some armor or clean out this, Shaded Naxxramas with anything else, this game is going in Dog's favor. And the way he can do that, though, is with Ragnaros.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're probably going to see a Ragnaros this turn. There's a very good chance that we see the Shield Maiden eat the Druid of the Claw here, and then a Ragnaros, and just hopefully it kills, hopefully for Kaldi's sake, it kills the Shade of Naxxramas here.
Yeah, this is actually such a crucial turn. That's exactly what he's going to go for. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, this turn is coming down to a 50-50 chance, and you can see Dog already roll his eyes, and the Ragnaros does not hit the Shade of Naxxramas. Fate is going to decide that Dog is getting this game number 2.
And we've seen some very, very quick games in this match. Dog is acting like he has somewhere to be. We've talked about that he's a little under the weather. And you know what? He's executing the game plan to get this match over with as soon as possible very well.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that he's feeling not quite at the top of his game, perhaps, not showing it in these matches so far. He's
Absolutely
been picture perfect on his strategies, really putting Kaldi to the test here. Kaldi needs to do something to recover this position because his control strategies are not working.
His control strategies are not working. Dog is up 2-0, and he's looking like a giant force here in HPL right now.
Yeah, excellent stuff from him. I mean, this is really the classic matchup of, aggressive strategies versus control strategies, is that Druid has a way to absolutely punish people who cannot put them on the defensive foot. And in that matchup, Kaldi killed 3 minions with a brawl, and that wasn't enough to do anything about it. Even the fact that he followed up with the Death Spite to kill the last minion that was remaining, there was no way for him to recover that game.
Yeah, there's no way for him to recover that game. Now he's looking to recover the match. He needs 3 straight over Dog. Guys, get out there on Twitter, use the hashtag HPL. Let us know who you think is going to win this match. What does Kaldi need to do to get back in this match and win 3 straight? So, yeah, so you're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.